We live in a new age, and it's time for us to upgrade. Our tinfoil hats. Operation Tinfoil is a freedom-focused small business and trusted sponsor of this show. Their super comfortable new line of beanies and baseball caps will not only crown your skull in style, but each of these dome defenders is lined with a silver mesh that blocks up to 99% of EMF radiation from cell phone towers, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and yes, even 5G. We don't know what EMF radiation does to the brain long term, but neither do they, so don't be their guinea pig and don't wait around to find out. Get your stylish tinfoil hat of the future today at gettinfoil.com. Use the promo code SYSTEM for $10 off your order. Again, that's gettinfoil.com. Use the promo code SYSTEM for $10 off your order. Today's show is sponsored by libertarian conspiratorial fantasy author Jack Casey. Whether you're looking for a 3-book fantasy sci-fi epic of love, death, and dystopian civil war like the Royal Green series, or just looking for a quick, dark, comedic, cultural commentary tale about a transsexual slayer of COVID regime vampires, like his latest book, WVW, Jack Casey Books will keep you adequately entertained and pondering the universe to your weird little heart's content. He's the Ayn Rand meets Stephanie Meyer meets somebody who actually writes entertaining books with his own unique little downer-esque flair. Find out more about Jack Casey Books at the aptly named jackcaseybooks.com. Once again, that is jackcaseybooks.com.
I got vaccinated. You're saying I could get this? Eat delicious fries? Wait a minute. But there's also a burger element to this? Let me check with Bill Neathart. Is it too early in the day to eat a burger? No. This could be breakfast? Okay. I want you to look at this and think about, again, some people love hamburgers, some don't. Really want to respect all ways of life. But if this is appealing to you, just think of this when you think of vaccination. Vaccination. I'm getting a very good feeling about vaccination right this moment.
I too am getting a very, very good feeling, but it's not about vaccinations. Hi guys, welcome to The System is Down, the least comfortable show on the web where we talk about all the uncomfortable topics like conspiracies, politics, religion, and roasting up some tire blood. Every now and then we gotta just throw down and roll around in the mud with the good old boys. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about Joe Exotic for president and Joe Exotic arguing with me on Twitter and Joe Exotic being a coward because he's not here on the show. But we'll get into all that. And I guess there's some orange guy who got arrested or something, whatever. We're going to talk about all those things. Go out, share it with your friends. Let's have a party today. It's hump day. Happy hump day. Let's party and get weird.
All I ask is, if we have to give these bastards our lives, we give them hell before we do!
The tragedy of our day is the climate of fear in which we live.
Talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing.
Ask the congressman to withdraw that comment and tell us that he didn't really mean that.
Half a shot before they do what I call
I don't know what I said. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The Bible commands that certain people be put to death.
Thieves were possessing weapons of mass destruction. 9/11 attacks were carried out by Al-Qaeda.
Handle the truth!
I remember that with Matthew Moses. We are still here!
We have to say yes to socialism.
No. It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
All right. Hello. Welcome to The System is Down. Today's show is sponsored by several wonderful people, but first and foremost, my favorite sponsor of all, as you know, is you guys in the Downers Club. People like Grumpy Gnome, RJ, JC, Justin Savoy, Justica Mitchell, Silas Lane, Bonnie Jeffers, Andrew something, Zach, Autumn, Danielle, Kimberly, Patrick, Alex, Sean, Gigi, Zareth Anarchy, Cole, Heflim's Woozles, Level Zero, Brian something, Javari, blah, blah, blah. If you want to get your name on that list and probably have it read incorrectly someday, head on over to patreon.com/The System Is Down, where you'll get more weird, more raw, more offensive, more weekly content, including but not limited to the after parties every single Wednesday after every single Wednesday episode, except for when a tree is falling down in my backyard and I have to go take care of it, probably this evening. I'm not sure if we're doing an after party today. That's my point here. But typically we do. Typically there is always a giant backlog of all sorts of very spicy, fun after parties over there at patreon.com/The System Is Down, and that is the only way that you can help this show grow and get bigger and better, more beautiful every single week. So we can troll people like Joe Exotic. Y'all remember him, right? Nah, whatever. We'll talk about him later. We're not there yet. Let's tease him a little bit. I know he's watching from his prison cell right now. Hey, Joe, what's up? Now, I don't like to do the news alone, and when I don't do it alone, I like to do it with my boy. And my boy is, of course, here. Dave Casey from the Dave vs. Goliath podcast. Dave, how are you today, sir?
Dude, I'm just feeling the gratitude for living in the greatest country in the world. 6 times boosted. I had my burger, my fries for breakfast. Feeling good about being in America. I can do whatever I want. I don't even
Are you
work
sure
out.
you can eat breakfast? You can eat burgers for breakfast? Is that okay?
Now I can. Now I can. And if you're unjabbed, you shouldn't do it. I wouldn't recommend it. The World Health Organization would say no to that for you.
That's true. You know, back in the day on this show, I've complained a lot about the breakfast meat etiquette and what makes burgers not acceptable breakfast foods. Because, you know, when you're working, I used to work a job from like 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. And when you get off work, you're not feeling like breakfast food when you drive past the only place open, which is like McDonald's or a gas station. You want a burger or something. That's your dinner. And it's discriminatory. I have found the only place that I can buy a breakfast burger is typically at PorkFest, and they will make up a breakfast burger whenever I feel like it. So
See,
I don't remember which tent, but I'll give him a shout out when I see him this year.
That's why those guys they got freedom on lock. Burgers at any time. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. That's the American way.
That is right. Dave, how have you been, man? It's been a week. How's your week going? How you feeling about Trump getting locked up and all that fun stuff?
I love the show, dude. It's all World Wrestling Entertainment. And by the way, Vince McMahon of WWE is in the news too. It's just funny that this is all this theater is coming to the forefront. I love it. I'm here for the show.
Yeah, it's like they have to keep leveling up. Like they have to keep us entertained and interested in the nonsense nothings that they're taking part in. And there's certainly a lot of implications to the Donald Trump thing. I don't want to downplay it, but for the most part, it feels like another circus performance, just like the last 6 years or whatever of indictments and hearings and commissions and all sorts of things. It's so exhausting. And quite frankly, I'm kind of bored with that circus. So I started poking at Joe Exotic last night. And again, we're going to talk about that later.
Huh? I love it.
Let's keep bringing him up and not talk about him yet. So he has to just keep edging him along. How's anything new in Delaware, Dave? Anything new in your neck of the woods or with the podcast or anything?
Let's see. I don't know if we got to talk. I think we did. I haven't had any new ones since the Lauren Witzke episode. I'm letting that one marinate for a little bit.
Yes.
But yeah, that one was great. I'm going to start to have more people that aren't libertarians on so I can kind of, mix our ideas with those. It gets a little boring just talking to people that agree with you all the time. I like it when we disagree a little bit. So maybe we'll do that with Joe Exotic. We'll get to that later.
I'm sure we will in some ways. Now with, I've been saying that for a while, like libertarian podcasters need to, I don't know, think outside the box, have people on with differing opinions, not even necessarily to debate them, but to listen to them and talk to them. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, good on all the libertarian podcasters, every 500,000 of you all interviewing each other, but it does get a little stale. Not that we do that much different around here other than talking about news and it's just us, but when I was doing interviews more, it was like Tom McDonald's, Juanita Broderick's, David Thibodeau's, like people who who are probably liberty adjacent, but they're not in our neck of the woods exactly. But that was the past. I don't do that anymore.
You should do more of that. I think reach out, bro. Bring them back in. Juanita Broderick, that's huge. Yeah. Go for it.
I should. I've been thinking maybe once if my schedule calms down a little bit. This summer's going to be hectic, but maybe once my schedule calms down a little bit, I do want to bring back the Monday interviews a little bit more frequently and doing stuff like that. But yeah, we'll see where it goes. Until then, everybody go check out Dave's show. He's doing the interviews. He's getting it in where it counts. Now, speaking of the breakfast burgers, we do have to start off with the good news. And this is not about a burger. This is, in fact, about produce, carrots, Arby's. This is from foodandwine.com, so you know it's legit. Arby's developed a carrot made out of meat, turning the tables on the plant-based burger trend. So, personally, I support this 100%. Although I would not necessarily eat a meat carrot, this is like 4 giant orange middle fingers on a plate to vegans and vegetarians. Like, you want to make the fake burgers? We'll make the fake vegetables instead, and have people eating sausages that look like carrots. Would you eat a meat carrot, Dave? You're muted, Dave. Come on.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I would give it a rip. And it's a good troll, I suppose. But I think I'd rather just have a burger.
Well, I mean, that goes without saying. Yes, but here is the Arby's meat carrot ad here. Let's watch. If they can make meat from veggies, we can make veggies from meat. Meet the first ever vegetable, the merit.
Oh.
It's turkey breast, salt, and white pepper, and a cheesecloth. Rolling it up.
Look, it's the artisan Arby's meat log.
Yes, it's a meat doobie. Dried carrot. Wait. What was that? Dried carrot what? This is important news here. Dried carrot juice powder, which is apparently a thing. Oh, so the cheese, you eat the cheesecloth? Do you eat cheesecloth? I don't know how cheesecloth works.
No, you don't do that.
They just rolled it and wrapped it in cheesecloth and then rolled the cheesecloth in orange carrot powder.
That cheesecloth is coming off at some point before they eat that bad boy.
I would imagine. But they're not showing it that way. So it basically looks like little turkey dogs, little orange turkey dogs that look like carrots. I'm not sure what the motivation is here other than defending your meatiness, but interesting marketing strategy. I don't know how to feel.
I don't know, man. I might be against it. Well, I'll just take the contrarian position. It's like, first of all, Arby's doesn't even sell burgers, and fuck them for that.
Do they not?
I don't think so.
I
right?
mean, they have the meats.
They do have the meats, but not. We're the anti-burger guys. I don't know. Meat log shaped like a carrot. I do like the troll aspect of it, and vegetarians suck. But
and for a big corporation to be like, yeah, I mean, it's in a polite way being like, fuck you guys. I guess this was from 2019, so I just saw this week, so never mind.
When you would get out of work at 4:00 in the morning and you were looking for food, could you get a fresh salad or could you only get some fucking, like McDonald's or Burger King?
I don't know because I only wanted to get a burger and I couldn't get that.
Right.
So
I mean, I like eating burgers and steak and all the stuff as much as anybody, but you know what? We should probably get our vegetable intake too. I don't know. Eat a real carrot.
Sure. Yeah. I don't think this is a substitute.
How about that, Arby's? Can I get a nice side of veggies at your restaurant to go with my,
with my vegetable carrot or my meat carrot? Yeah. Don't know, but I like it. Chats. Drop fake super chats in the chats because I can't take super chats because YouTube hates me. And I will forget until the end, so I'm going to say it now. Put fake super chat in all caps if you want me to read it for sure and make it good. Or you can call in at that number above Dave's head. It's 309-716-3818, and I'm going to try and open that up right now so that you can do it. Last week we did Tuesday, right? That was the week we did a day early.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I had a couple people on Wednesday who were like, I showed up on time today for the first time for a live stream, and I was going to call in. I was like, motherfucker. Well, first off, bullshit. I'm calling bullshit.
You weren't going to call.
You're going to blame this on me? You still got your show when you showed up. It was a day early, and it was like real long. So, if you got complaints, call in and let me know. Prove me wrong that you were actually going to call in last week. Now, we do have a quick update on COVID because it's important. The science, as it is tend to do, seems to have changed yet again, and let's see what's the latest.
All right, what is your reaction about what the WHO has said? They're saying that healthy children and teenagers probably don't need the COVID vaccine. They say the traditional shots are more important.
Yeah, that's right. So the World Health Organization is coming out with their new guidelines. They do say if you're still high risk to get a booster every 6 months to a year. But when it comes to age 6 months of age and up to 17 years of age, that's not recommended for most young teenagers. And that makes sense. Kids, they are the lowest risk group when it comes to severe complications with COVID. And on top of that, we've reached a level of population immunity. Many children, more than 88%, have already had COVID. So they have that protection from natural immunity. Many of them also have had vaccines. So when you combine protection from vaccination, protection from infection and reinfection, you're at low risk. And it makes sense that you don't need to have that additional shot unless you have any underlying medical circumstances. But is it a significant public health benefit to vaccinate toddlers? At this point, the answer is no.
There are a lot of parents that don't want their children vaccinated. What do you think this means for the fall? When schools go back into classes, our children go back into the classes, do you think that the school...
All right, we get the point. And first off, to all of that, I say a very hearty fuck you, because that is the same thing that we've been saying for 3 years now. 2 years, 3 years, something like that. Getting kicked off of platforms for saying what the WHO is now pretending like they just found out, just came up with, and we are just some schlubby dudes in our bedrooms talking on the internet about things, and we should not be getting anything in the entirety of, especially science, but anything really in life more accurate 2 years in advance of the WHO on medical issues. What do you think, Dave?
First of all, I hate this bitch for coming out here like, we've discovered brand new information.
Yep.
Like, I just hate I hate the gaslighting. I hate it.
Yep.
So that, I also hate the people. I'm still so bitter at the people that would snidely and with just disgust say, follow the science. Like, that's not ancient history.
That was this lady, still now saying follow the science.
Sure. The science has changed. Like, no, it hasn't. Your fucking narrative has. The science is the World Health Organization for all intents and purposes. And just because you change your fucking mind, like, now you can
it's
go.
not
on
convenient
TV,
anymore.
We recommend that you do this. It's like, well, what do you recommend I do if I already did that to my kid because you said I had to? What do you recommend for that?
Yeah. Probably sudden child death.
Thank goodness for
climate
immunity,
control.
right? They don't care what you're going to do because they have immunity. It's fucking crazy.
It's true. Yeah, they're vaccinated against any sort of accountability as well. So, and that's a vaccine that works, it would seem. But, yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say to this other than it's just exhausting and quite frustrating to, like you said, have been gaslit for years. Her saying the truth now is gaslighting because she's not saying, hey, we got it wrong. She's saying, hey, this has changed. Like, nothing has changed other than your narrative and the thing that you're allowed to say on Fox or anything now. The only thing that has changed is the script, and the script has only changed because people are bored of this and they're not going along with it anymore. So you have to backpedal your shit to make it seem like you're doing a good job when you've done next to nothing, and you've been wrong the entire time up until you're getting close now. You're getting closer. I mean, you're still not quite there because you're still saying that people above a certain age should get it, but I'm not a scientist. I was just right long before you. Anyway, let's talk about something completely different because California, did you hear about the California thing where they were like, we're going to give reparations to minorities of $5 million?
Yes.
I mean, God bless them. First off, I don't know how California was planning on doing that in the first place. And I have questions on that, but it doesn't really matter because as soon as you come out and say, hey, we're going to give you guys a thing, we're going to give you exactly what you were insisting on. I'm not meaning black people. I mean leftists. It's never good enough. You give a mouse $5 million and he's still going to ask for, lots of things, turns out. If it plays. Come on. You're really fucking with my transitions here, Twitter.
Oh, man.
Oh, also, Elon Musk changed the Twitter logo to Doge this week. I'm not sure why, but I'd like a little silly chaos. Was that for anything in particular, or was he just trying to skyrocket Doge?
That's my guess. He probably wanted to make a quick billion or two.
I'm sure he did, too.
Yeah, that should do it.
Good on him. Good on him for that.
I believe that $5 million in reparations is too little for the work that foundational Black Americans have done for this country and as well for other countries. I believe that $7.6 million is a number that can be used very wisely in our foundational Black American community.
Why 7.6? That seems like an very oddly distinct number to choose.
Arbitrary. Yeah, arbitrary as shit. 5 million is racist. This is equitable.
Yeah, if we started at 7.6, it would be 8.35 or what? Like, are you just pulling numbers out? Like, hey, while you're at it, give us more money than that too.
40 acres is also still a good idea, and instead of a mule, we would like a tractor. I also believe that—
I'm sorry, but mules are substantially cheaper. I would be willing to bet. I'm not a farmer, but I would bet that mules are substantially cheaper than tractors. Excuse me. But yeah, fair value trade there, Dave.
I don't know what the inflation rate from the time that when was the 40 acres and a mule written up? Right after the Civil War. So maybe he deserves a tractor, bro. Let's just give him a tractor.
Yeah,
that's what
along with $7.6 million.
We'll skip the $7.6 million, and you live in San Francisco, so there's nothing for you to mow, but here's your tractor.
Right, here's a tractor. I'm not sure where you're getting all the acreage in California, but all right.
Know the name of all the companies that participated in the slave trade so we, foundational Black Americans, can start up our own companies. We should also be allowed to have the choice to learn our mother language.
What's that?
This is the part that I actually kind of agree with. If you're interested in reparations, Black Americans, is find out companies who participated in the slave trade and morphed and changed their name and rebranded and whatever. But yeah, go after them. That's what I would do. Sue a company. Wells Fargo, I think they might have been involved with some shit. Go get that money there, bro.
Even with that, I'm not sure. Like, I don't care. They're certainly welcome to. I don't care about those businesses, but the businesses, they're not being run by anybody who carried out those things. They certainly profited off of, those lives, and that has trickled up over the years to make them the conglomerates that they are, I'm sure. But I don't know. This is all just. Do you think they're going to get anything, honestly, out of California?
Well, this was California's idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's funny that
probably
California, the state that probably did they have any slaves in California?
I mean, probably, but I don't know if
not very well known for their slave population out there in California, and so you've got a guy who was never a slave insisting that people who never owned slaves pay through taxes forcibly pay him $7.6 million and a bunch of land and a tractor / mule. Okay. Sure.
No grass here, bro, but okay.
Shoot for the stars, bud. I'm not even sure why you stopped at 7.6. It's such an arbitrary number. Just go big or go home. You're not getting anything anyway. Just keep pushing. It's fine.
In Spanish or French in our educational classes. We have the Tut language that was started right here in America. During slavery, we have Swahili, Yoruba, Igbo, Zulu, and Hausa. Community colleges and universities should not raise their tuition prices for the next future generations of each foundational Black American family, and we should be able to change our names to our mother land names totally for free. All types of real estate should not go up in price, but it is our land that was supposed to be for us, but as we all know, it was never given.
He sounds bored, given it doesn't.
It almost sounds like he's like, this is probably gonna I don't know. This probably isn't gonna go my way.
Make me look stupid, right?
Man, it's just like, god damn. Like, if the government came to me and was like, hey, I know that you're not a slave and your father wasn't a slave, but we want to give you $5 million, and I turned around and went, well, let me think about that. Here's my proposal. How about all the money and all the land, please, and thank you. And also, I'd like to change my own name for free. Like, I don't know. I like who was it? Was it Hotep Jesus who was talking about reparations and just start by saying Black people don't have to pay taxes? I'm like, I can get behind that. Yeah, it's discriminatory against white people, but you got to start somewhere. If we take away taxes for somebody who shouldn't be paying them, that's a good start. And I'm willing to let them go first, as long as we push for the rest of us current modern day techno slaves to not have to pay taxes either.
Those are, libertarians out there who want to run for office. Listen to your boy Dan, the shadow government. If you go into the black communities and say, you know what, I don't think you guys should pay taxes. Woo! Taxation is theft in the hood. Go into the seniors centers, right? All the the old folks living. You know what? I think that you guys should not have to pay
one
property
by
taxes.
one, every single group.
Right, exactly. They'll be like, fuck Social Security. I don't have to pay these taxes. Let these libertarians win one. Yeah.
Make it as discriminatory as the person you're talking to wants it to be. Like if they're like, hey, me and my friends who are all trans, sure. Trans people don't have to pay taxes. All right. You got gals don't have to pay taxes. Great. I don't care. Just don't make me pay for your dick chopping. And just one group by one group. Go right along and say, I am here for just you, specifically you, to make sure that you don't have to pay taxes. Little did they know I'm specifically there for everybody else to not have to pay taxes either. But that's the long con.
That's the way, bro. I love it.
That's right. Now, I don't even know what's next. It's going to be one of those days. Oh, I haven't even read this one yet, but we're going to read it together. Apparently, a man who posted a Hillary Clinton meme was found guilty of interfering with the 2016 election. Do you know about this one?
Bro. Yeah, I don't like it one bit.
What's the deal?
I make lots of memes. He made memes that were I shared some of them. I should go back and erase them because Facebook is definitely known to go back and be like, Dave, you posted this thing of Hunter Biden in 2020 and we're going to kick you off.
So we called the cops.
So we took the liberty of fucking, alerting Meta Police. They'll be there in a minute. Yeah, this is scary. He put out some memes that were really quality looking. It could have been system is down quality shit, bro.
I don't
encouraging.
Know.
Okay, not that good, but pretty good. It looked like a graphic designer did it. They looked legit, and they were Hillary Clinton memes saying, hey, you can text your vote, and so don't bother going out to the polls.
I do remember those, yeah.
Some legit disinformation, but I don't, it's freedom of speech, man. I don't know, like, what kind of idiot do you have to be, really, to not understand how the privilege of voting works and what's legit.
If you're falling for text your vote, then you shouldn't be voting. Like, if that is your level of intelligence, then I would prefer that you do not vote. Even if you were going to vote for my guy, I would prefer that a bunch of informed people that disagree with me vote. Maybe not. I don't know. That's debatable. But if you're so dumb that you're falling for a meme that says text your vote for Hillary Clinton now and then you don't have to worry about it, like, I don't know. I understand why that is illegal in our current structure in society, and I don't know if I'm allowed to condone it on my podcast on YouTube, but so I don't condone it. Otherwise,
this is 2016. You can talk about that election. It's cool.
Oh, that's true. So this guy, I applaud him. Deal. I applaud him for it, and I encourage nobody, wink, ever to do this again because you'll end up like him. Quite frankly, don't do stupid stuff like this, or you might end up like him. I don't know. Where is the line? Because it's getting to the point where, with all the the censorship and all that shit ramping back up with this new act, what's it called? The something act, restrict act.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like that one bit.
There's a part of me that wants to be like, hey, y'all should like start screaming about this stuff. But as this stuff I don't know, as it gets more illegal to speak, do we encourage more people to speak, or do we encourage them to not comply or submit? But if you're just a dude, defending your family, is it worth posting that meme and going to jail for it at this point? I don't know.
Oh man, yeah, dude. Honestly, at this point, I'm escalating it because I think it's the only way to like come out is to like maybe. Now that doesn't mean that I'm not trying to be savvy. Like my meme style is like to just mock these people, just like to utter disrespect. You know what I mean? Spit on these people. So it's not like I'm trying to create disinformation. It's just like I'll say that Hillary Clinton is like a C word or whatever. Like I'll just make her look bad in a picture. So so far you can still do that. I'm not going down the misinformation rabbit hole there, but that's just that's terrifying, man. Pictures, speech, art, like political cartoons. This is all like I'm worried about the precedent there.
I agree. I agree. So what do you know about this Restrict Act? I haven't been keeping up on it. I've seen like the outrage from it and the people saying, "Oh, this is the Patriot Act Part 2 for the internet" or something like that. Do you have any insight you can fill me in on that I haven't been keeping up on?
Yeah, I shared a clip of Josh Hawley like being pretty based when it came to like the trans stuff a couple weeks ago on the podcast, and then he was the guy like up there championing this thing. Nice. And basically he was not an articulate guy, and Rand Paul went right after him and made him look like an idiot, but he just went up there like your typical like asshole Republican was like, TikTok's China's bad, we gotta get this, our kids are on there. It was just like, it was so dumb. And it really is like, this could be really bad. Again, yeah, thank goodness for Rand Paul. But I think this was like had a lot of consensus between the worst on the left and the worst on the right. So
as always, nothing new there. What's it looking like? Is it gonna go through? Is it as bad as everybody says? Like, what are the implications of the Restrict Act that everybody's freaking out about?
That's probably a little bit beyond my pay grade, but I'm pretty sure that if they wanted to, like I heard that TikTok isn't even mentioned in the bill. So like that's another one of those kind of like the don't say gay bill, like it has nothing to do with that. They just call it that.
The don't say TikTok bill.
I imagine this would give clearance, to limit all kinds of social media platforms, or not just from government phones. And I don't know. I'm learning more about China, man, and like the fear mongering over there. It's just, like LPNH put out a good tweet the other day that was like, yeah, people are saying, and I've been one of them, like, oh man, they're buying up farmland over here and all this shit. It's like there's like 10 countries ahead of them that have like way more farmland here. It's like, oh, okay, like that. Once you put that into
Bill
perspective
Gates.
a little bit, right. Not that he's not working with these people, not that they're not an economic threat, and we shouldn't pay attention to some of these things.
Probably any land that Bill Gates owns, CCP has some involvement into.
Right. So. Different store, same groceries, right? Yeah. We're sharing.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to study that a little bit more.
You know who else is gonna have to study it a little more? Lindsey Graham.
Did the United States Senate just say we're going to protect you from China by spying on you? Let's try to get some answers out of the Senator Lindsey Graham, who supports this and is here now. You got to be kidding me, Senator. Did you read this?
Yeah, I love just how his face sinks. Like he has no idea why he's here right now. He has no idea when what's his face? Is that Waters? Jesse Waters? Yeah.
Yes.
When he says, who supports this bill? This is crap. Lindsey Graham just like, wait, what? I support this? Do I support this? I don't know. Do I support this?
I support this. Damn it.
Honestly, I don't.
I support this.
His name is on or related or tied to this bill in some way, and he doesn't even seem to realize that he's a part of it, because that's how this works. Your name just goes on things because you're a marketing slogan. Your endorsement is really all that matters, not your actual thoughts and opinions.
Yeah, sure. I co-sponsored it. The Restrict Act sounds great. Did I read it? No. Restrict sounds great. Restrict whatever you want.
I like restricting things. I love restricting. I don't know. Mostly the plebs and the peasants, but
restricting freedom. I like
restricting.
Speech.
Sounds good. Yeah,
sure.
We're restricting the Taliban. I'm pretty sure.
I support the Restrict Act.
You don't support this because you were named?
I don't think I support the Restrict Act.
I don't think I support the Restrict Act, he says.
You don't support this because you were named as one of the supporters, because this is garbage.
Is this the one with John? There's two bills out there. One allows a review of businesses that are connected to China, give the Secretary the ability to protect their data. Is that the Restrict Act?
Oh, my God.
We got S-686.
This is worse than Aleppo, okay? This is worse than Gary Johnson Aleppo moment right here. This is a guy who's like, name is on a thing. He doesn't even know what the thing is.
Right. I thought you said Free Strict Act. Okay, now I'm with you. I did sign that. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Right here, March 7th. And we got a bunch of
It's like
Republicans
the other day, sir.
supporting it. Because this thing is
It's
crazy.
like this morning, dude. You don't know.
Town. You don't want the government looking into your private phone.
No, I don't.
If
And
they have a
can't.
hunch you're colluding with the Russians, we remember how that turned
That's
out.
right. Yeah, no, well,
Colluding with Grindr.
Constitution,
What's that?
Colluding with Grindr.
Yes.
Trump's a statute. So let me come back and, give you a better explanation. Here's the problem.
Let me go home.
Do
a little Google search into the bill I signed, the bill that my name's on, and I'll come back once I know what it is that I'm supporting here as the public servant. It's just like I don't even care. Like I don't care about Jesse Waters. It doesn't matter. Like good on him for doing this and saying this. And I don't know how he got Lindsey Graham there without Lindsey Graham knowing that this is what they would be talking about right now.
Right.
What did he think they were going to talk about when this TikTok shit's going on? Yeah, I can't. I would imagine that there's at least a conversation of like, hey, would you want to come on to discuss blank? What was blank that you came on and you don't even know the name of the bill that you signed?
Very sad.
I don't know. I love. I could like just have on loop. Cut out Jesse Waters. I don't care. Just Lindsey Graham squirming throughout this entire like minute duration. I could have that on loop all day, and it would never get old.
As I
This
see
guy
it,
is one of the worst. Sorry.
Oh,
he
he's
is one
real
of the
bad.
worst. I love seeing him squirm. I guess it's pretty great.
Yep, he's fun to watch.
China is the parent company of TikTok, and my nieces like TikTok. I don't mind them using TikTok. I just don't want the Chinese government to seize all their data and manipulate the information America sees for political purposes. China is helping drug cartels in Mexico. China
I don't want China to be spying on my kids. That's our job. They're getting in on our territory. We want them to be using our TikToks and our social medias that we can spy on. Hashtag restrict act. Whatever that is.
I'm pro that again. I'm for it.
Yes.
And Chinese espionage is an all-time high against American business interests. So I want to push back against China, but within a constitutional framework. You're right about that. So you made these allegations, and I'll come answer.
What were the allegations? Your name is on this bill, and this bill sucks ass. Those are the allegations, Lindsay. Any thoughts? I have no idea.
Better next time.
All right, well, I mean, because on Congress.gov, you're listed as one of the co-sponsors of this thing. Maybe it's like Fetterman when your chief of staff does all your work for you. But, Senator, you got to go back and talk to these other senators about this. This thing is nuts. And
I could be a brain-dead vegetable of a senator right now. I might not know what's going on. I might not understand the words that are coming out of your mouth right now. But who knows? I'm just a senator. I'll have to go do some research. God,
I used to really get annoyed with Jesse Waters, but he's kind of earning some respect. I just like the kind of it reminds me of Yeah, oh my God, it reminds me of the Idiocracy doctor kind of saying, well, it looks like here your shit's fucked up and you talk like fag. So it's like, I don't know, man. That guy was completely unprepared for that.
Yeah.
So
impressively
I like
so.
to see, impressively. I'll have to get back to you on these allegations. No, dude, you co-sponsored a bill called this. I'm holding it.
You had one job, Lindsay. One job, and it was to defend the thing that you do or claim to do. But it seems like you don't even do that. You don't even do that, do you? Oh, maybe I don't do that. Maybe I don't do my job. Maybe I'm John Fetterman. God, it's so beautiful.
Bro, I'm so much of a conspiracy theorist. Like, I've seen him really swinging hard for Trump since Trump got locked up or
Lindsay?
arraigned. Yeah, he's going on and he's, this is America's last breath and you need to send money if you can and President Trump needs our help. And I mean, really going hard. I'm looking at that like, this is not going to help any, like nobody likes this guy. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's like who came out,
taint agent.
Who came out and endorsed? We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Somebody came out and endorsed Ron DeSantis. Oh, it was Jeb Bush came out and endorsed Ron DeSantis, and I was like, "That's not." I mean, do you want Trump to win? If you don't want Trump to win, it would be best for Jeb to stay out of this entirely.
Yeah, just shut up, Jeb.
Yeah.
Exclamation point.
Speaking of Trump, Trump arrives for arraignment on felony charges today. And this is yet another thing that you might know more than me. You might not. Maybe people in the chats do. Maybe somebody wants to call in and enlighten me because I stopped paying attention, mostly. I mean, I know the gist of the 34 whatever felony charges, and they can't seem to, give real clear, concise explanations for these charges other than he paid a porn star to not tell people that he had sex with her, and that's bad or something. Now, this is, in my opinion, from even just a little bit that I know, I'm willing to have my mind changed if somebody has a good explanation for this. I'm all for, like, hey, if he's guilty, lock him up. But at the same time, if he's guilty, yes, lock him up. And he's probably infinitely less guilty than all the rest of them. And I'm fine with you locking every last one of these motherfuckers up. I do not care. I find it really hard to care about Trump at this point, mostly because they've made it such a circus over the last 6 years that me and I assume most people in the world just don't even believe it until something actually happens. What do you think's going to happen here? Dave, do you know any more specifics?
I know there were 30, I'm pretty sure 34 charges. Nothing that's going to be like really, I don't think there was any felonies. So like, I don't think.
Well, they're calling them felonies. They're saying
Are
34 felony counts.
Okay,
I heard
34
misdemeanor the other day, but now it's 34 felony counts, and those felony counts, to my understanding, it could be like if he committed a felony and then lied about it or did something else related to that.
Right.
And, like they could have gotten this very minutia trail of all these different things related to the one thing, and they're going to call it 34 different things when it's really just one thing. And I barely can even tell what the one thing is, and it seems like they don't know either.
All right. Yeah, I need to learn about this too. I'll just say my feeling is that this is, and I've said this on your show lots of times, dude, and I would still say it. I've never seen a bad guy go down. And
Right.
the last bad guy that's going to go down is a president.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because again, it's all about legal precedent. So if I had to guess, at the end of this, when this is all done, Trump will be more powerful than ever. He'll be president again. Maybe some of the
Well, they're talking about like 2 life sentences for these charges.
I don't think so. I think he's going to walk and he's going to be the gangster. He's really giving like the Christian industrial complex what they want, like the Bible Belt. Like this is, they are ready for this, bro. I think you probably know that more than I do.
Oh yeah.
But
He's going to go to jail today or Thursday. Then 3 days later on Easter Sunday, he is going to rise again. He's going to walk out of that place and he's going to be the Messiah to all these Bible thumping people. No offense, Bible thumpers, but he's not your savior.
Happening.
But in fairness to all
He plays one on TV.
the Trump supporters right now, like, this doesn't make me like him less. It makes me like, yeah, I would rather see Trump win and say fuck all these people. And I think the whole thing could be part of a grand conspiracy that I've talked about many times, where he's just a pawn in all of this and he's playing his role. But yeah, stuff like this makes me want to support Donald Trump more, especially with
I think that's the function of this psyop, because it makes me feel like that too, and we don't want to feel
it's
like
the same
that,
as
right?
2016, where it's like,
right,
wow, I don't want Trump to win, but damn, I kind of want Trump to win. Like, if it's between this guy and that guy, yeah, like, he's talking a different language than these political figures typically do. At the very least, he's speaking. Do you remember that Michael Moore thing leading up to 2016, where he's like, Trump is going to win. It'll be a big middle finger to the establishment. It's going to feel good for the middle class and all that. I'm like, yes, it does. Even though I don't trust him, it feels way more of a middle finger still than a Joe Biden or seeing Donald Trump locked up for this petty bullshit, after we all know that Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, all these people have such, Joe Biden, all have such heinous atrocities that they've carried out over their presidencies, before, during, and after their presidencies. Like, it's just so maddening, because all of that stuff combined, it's like, how do you say that this isn't just a political move, which is the most concerning part, that this is a political move to lock up a presidential candidate, the front runner for the second largest, or the second of the 2 largest parties in the country. This is political theater. Like, if he did something wrong, sure, lock him up. But you've been saying he's done worse things for the last 6 years, and he was supposed to be, like, hanged in the street by now. And now you're locking him up on porn star hush money charges.
That's how you know it's theater. And this will give, I think they know that we know, bro. You know what I mean? So they know how triggered we are by the crazy woke shit. They know how triggered we are by seeing a sitting president who's the most corrupt we've seen in our lifetime.
Yeah.
They know that, right? And Trump is like this chaos figure who gives kind of both sides what they need. So right now, the left is getting that sugar high from like they've wanted it so bad. This story needs to end with Trump in cuffs, right? But it's like when your little brother like comes up and hits the big brother.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if it doesn't, like if you swing for the king, you better make it land. And usually it doesn't because you're the little brother.
And they're still not making it land. Even if they lock him up,
No,
it's
this
not
is-
going to
come
work in their
on.
favor. Like, whoever the Republican candidate nominee or whatever is, even Liz Cheney is going to have a better shot at winning the election if Donald Trump goes to jail. I would be willing to bet.
I can't imagine the chaos that would come if Trump couldn't run for president. Maybe that's that could be the thing.
That's what I've been thinking.
If they actually do that, that's the chaos trigger. That's the people won't have that.
I don't think I agree with you, but a part of me is skeptical because I don't know that the Republicans will ever do anything to stop this or to, go against this or to return the favor in any way. If they lock up Donald Trump and the Republicans start pushing for, hey, let's actually lock up Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, then okay, yeah, let's let this thing fall in a beautiful style. But yeah,
if that
I think
happens, I'd be really impressed, and I would change my opinion on everything I just said about Trump being just kind of this trigger figure.
they won't though.
No,
the
they
Republicans don't. They don't do that.
You will get you will get a stronger office of the presidency who has less oversight, more power. You will empower Trump. You will empower CNN. You'll empower the corporate news that gives you the constant hate stuff all the time for another 4 years.
Yeah.
It'll be just everything else amped up.
Now, is it how legally possible would it be for just anybody to run on a GOP ticket and then run on the idea of, when I am elected, my first thing that I will do is pardon Donald Trump? Like, day one, pardon Donald Trump. We'll figure it out from there, but this guy's got to get out. Like, they're making a martyr out of him. I just think, like, anybody at this point, I think DeSantis has kind of shot himself in the foot over the last few weeks of just kind of being, vanilla on this whole Trump thing. He should be supporting Trump because Trump is his best bet at the White House in 2028 or whatever. Like, the next go around is probably DeSantis's only move if Donald Trump is in the race. We talked about this last week a bit, but I don't know. Like, I think if Donald Trump goes to jail, all it's going to do is get his base more amped up. Maybe they want another January 6th. Maybe they want Donald Trump 2024. My conspiracy brain even goes to that point of like, well, part of the narrative here is that the evil man has to be back in power at some point so we can stir shit up even more. I'm not delusional enough to think that if Donald Trump gets elected in 2024 that everything's going to be magically happy. I think that it could probably make the country even worse from a social standpoint, and we're sprinting towards collapse in that department, in addition to the banks and the nuclear wars and everything else. So I don't know. Been pretty dark gray pilled this week, Dave. Not gonna lie.
I'll tell you what, man. Yeah, Ron Paul said back in the day, it's like, if you want to build a wall, just imagine a day when they might want to try and keep you in. That's right. You are rapidly approaching the day when you will have a big, beautiful wall, and there might be a strong man in office because people begged for it. And that's, Trump right now is on record of like, I'm going to execute all drug dealers. And and by the way, everyone is stuck here. And there's no money to be made. The economy is shot. Oh, by the way, nobody can fly into America anymore who's not jabbed up because it's the most beautiful jab in the world.
And he's trying to genocide trans people, I'm pretty sure. Or at least that's what someone told me.
Anybody mentally ill, right? By the time 8 years from now, it'll be anybody mentally ill. So that could probably cover a lot of space. And anybody who, talks about the meme thing we just talked about, imagine how far down the line that'll be in 4 more years. Anybody who does some memes might just get Donald Trumped. Drug dealers.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, from the, I don't know, the chaotic neutral standpoint even, I would prefer a Donald Trump at this point, because for the same reason why I was kind of like, yeah, let Joe Biden win last go around. I'm like, yes, let's see what happens here. I hope they run Joe Biden, who still hasn't announced, interestingly, run Joe Biden, Donald Trump gets out of jail, and they duke it out, and whoever wins, it's going to be chaos. It's going to be chaos either way, because either Donald Trump gets in there and the anti-Trumpers cause chaos for another 4 years, or Joe Biden gets in there and Joe Biden causes chaos for another 4 years. Like, even like I've seen so many people talking about the Donald Trump thing. They're like, I'm so sick of Donald Trump. I'm sick of this man. It's like, no, you're sick of the fucking media that won't leave this man alone at this point. Like, they won't shut the fuck up about this guy no matter what he does. It's been so freaking long now. We went through an entire pandemic and we're still talking about how Donald Trump stole the 2016 election, how evil he is, and how he wouldn't concede or whatever in 2020. Like, it's so exhausting that I don't care that much if he gets locked up. I feel like most people are just like, show me the results. Show me what happens in the aftermath. I'm not going to keep up on this. I'm not going to pay that close attention because I'm tired. It's like they talk about
if I thought he was a victim, I would pay attention, but I don't think he's a victim. So
sure.
I'm not,
Sure. I do think he's being treated unfairly in this context. I don't think he should be going. I'm willing to bet that he probably shouldn't be going to jail for what they're getting him on. But also, I know that I would not be surprised to hear that Donald Trump is a corrupt politician individual, because he is. But like, all of this just feels like all the Marvel movies and the Star Wars movies. Anytime there's a flop, they're like, oh, it's just Marvel fatigue. It's like, I've got Donald Trump fatigue. I don't have DTS. I've got fatigue. I don't fucking care. Like, until something happens, call me. Call me when something happens. When he's in jail behind bars, let me know. Until then, I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. I feel like the Democrats are probably shooting themselves in the foot on this one, and it's not going to go in their favor. Or it is, if this is all an orchestrated thing, which I tend to believe that it is. And I don't know. I'm conflicted, which makes me just kind of check out, because I don't like... there's also a part of me that's like, this is all distraction, right? Like, this has to be all distraction. This is not real. And if so, then why pay as much attention as they want us to? At the very least, if they're telling you to pay 50%, dedicate 50% of your attention to this thing, I'm giving you 25 at best, because fuck you. like I don't know. Donald Trump's not a squeaky clean politician or anything. I don't think that he has a reason to go down right now, but I'm sure he has a reason to go down.
The story, bro, if it's a storyline, right? If it is WWE, politics, WWE, then we are supposed to have sympathy for Donald Trump right now in the story.
It's true.
And it is supposed to be embarrassing to look at Joe Biden. And everybody knows that Kamala Harris is an idiot. Like, it's embarrassing. It's a national embarrassment. So, like, I think this is how they make you beg for the guy to come in and just clean house, Yeah. So if the WEF, needs to kind of like consolidate the governments of the world to like be more corporate friendly and things like that, this might just be the perfect way to like just smash the system, and not in the system is down kind of good way. Just like the law and order, or the delicate function of it. You know what I mean? Just, I think this is how you get, not that Donald Trump, I'm saying, is going to be a dictator, but like, this is how you pave the way.
So are you saying that it's like orchestrated? Are you going along with my theory that all of this, they're all playing together and this is just him fulfilling his role? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, okay. Absolutely. This is the timing of everything right now. But the QAnon shaman just got released.
Right.
Like, these things don't last long. That guy could be a fucking agent for all I know, bro. If you were like, Dave, you want to serve your country, you got to go do this thing, play this role. You're going to go sit in jail for like a year. You're going to be super famous when you get out. You can be an influencer. You can go on fucking whatever all these. Like, if you were already in government, you don't think there's the guy who would sign up for that gig right away? I know that's a far stretch, but I'm saying it didn't take much. They've created these storylines that we have to. I don't know, bro. I just everything. It seems like it's a year out from like this. Will be by next year. Like we'll be heated up in this election stuff.
Oh
and,
yeah.
They're drawing it out. It's like a permanent election system or permanent election cycle rather. And it seems like they just keep upping the crazy and upping the sugar intake to see how much we can take.
It's true, and I do appreciate. I've got a lot of thoughts. I do appreciate that. Like my brain goes to always two different places of like, well, if it is conspiracy, as I suspect, then what does that mean? What does that look like? Who benefits? All that stuff. Then the other part of my brain is like, if it's not, then how does this work? I do appreciate that when I say these things, you come in and you're like, yeah, you're probably right on the conspiracy thing. Just focus on that. Just don't worry about the rest. I don't even care anymore. Like, I might be wrong and we might be wrong. It's perfectly fine for us to be wrong, but shit seems sus at best. Like, give me a break.
I'd say they're getting better at this stuff. Like Trump, for the first time in my adult life, I thought maybe presidents are elected. Like
right.
I always
Exactly.
thought that they were selected. And then I was like, wait a second, but they really do hate this guy. But unless you really dissect, you can think that he really is disrupting the system, right? The John Bolton hiring, the Mike Pompeo hiring,
Fauci.
WEF speaking, Fauci keeping, Donald Trump, the warp speed inducing, Donald Trump Easter
pardoning
closing,
Rod Blagojevich and not Julian Assange. Yes, that makes sense.
So all these things we know to be true. It's like we know it, but it still feels good when he owns the libs. So he's
Right.
got
And it does.
place in our heart. Yeah, it's like
Michael Moore was spot on.
Dude, I know. We hate the other part so bad that we'll accept this thing that kind of provides this. I don't know what it is, but I think Trump knows
now,
exactly
by the other,
what it is.
By the other, you mean the mindset of that Satanism shit.
The nihilist progressive, gelatinous cube that eats villages. Yes, that whole movement. Yeah.
Speaking of Madonna, we're going to talk about her in just a minute. But before that, we have to give a shout out to our sponsor, Asteros. We'll be right back. Today's episode is sponsored by Asteros Cybersecurity Services. These days, organizations of all sizes are targets for cyber criminals, disgruntled employees, or even nation-state attackers. Asteros performs cybersecurity services providing expert guidance to help organizations defend against threats and protect their data. Asteros specializes in penetration testing, where they perform ethical hacking on networks, web apps, or organizations as a whole to simulate what an attacker would do and plug the discovered holes before anyone malicious finds and exploits them. Asteros also specializes in vulnerability management, security awareness training, phishing simulations, cloud security audits, compliance readiness assessments, and much more. As technology expands, it becomes easier and easier to run a business, but if your security is not growing along with your company, then you're going to run into problems. If you don't personally have a company of your own, definitely pass this information along to someone who does, because for a limited time, Asteros is offering companies an attack surface audit completely free. Let Asteros discover potential entry points to your network and how susceptible your company or organization is to cyber attacks. To learn more and to take advantage of this essential offer, just go to asteros.com/free. That's Asteros, ASTEROS.com/free. And we're back. During that break, I had a moment to read a chat or two, and Seymour says, "Bring me on your show." And to that I say, Seymour, you can call in right fucking now, my friend, at 309-716-3818. Anybody can come on my show right now. Joe Exotic can call in from prison right now if he wants to, and he can head up the next conversation that we're going to have. But first, we do have to give an update on the stuff, the trans shit. It seems like a good segue into Joe Exotic's. Never mind. Now with just a few things that I thought were noteworthy. After last week with the whole trans shooting thing in Nashville, Madonna came out and announced that she's doing a concert in Nashville to raise money for trans rights, which any other time of year, I wouldn't bat an eye at, quite frankly. But when there was a trans shooting of children in Nashville last week or the week before, within the last 2 weeks, and you're going to hold a concert to raise in Nashville to raise money for trans rights, I don't know. It seems a little off to me.
Let me explain, Dan.
Go ahead, Dave.
This is what you should expect from a satanic cum dumpster. You know what I mean? Who's been, I mean, literally, her whole career is based on that, on those things. She is a dark mistress of the night.
Intentionally, yeah. That's her thing.
I mean,
her
literally,
shtick.
I think she is, she's in the dark arts, bro. And we should turn her off.
I think if anybody is, I mean, there's certain people where you're like as a conspiracy-minded person, I'm like, if there is anything to this Illuminati, like, dark arts-ness thing, like, it might be all complete bunk and nonsense. Fine. If there's anything at all to this thing that seems like there's something to it, oh yeah, Madonna's at the top of the list, right up there with Jay-Z and Beyonce and all that, so. And Joe Exotic. But Madonna announced new concert in Nashville to raise money for trans rights groups, not victims of Christian school massacre. That's from the postmillennial.com, so it's legit, in a move even more disgusting than her Botox-filled face. God bless you, the postmillennial. Madonna is heading to Nashville not to fundraise for the families of victims of the Covenant school shooting, but for trans rights groups. Now, I don't know. It's like, I've seen the videos of the protesters and stuff, people coming out, and they're like holding up the 6 fingers for the 6 people that died, and then there's a lot of people holding up 7 fingers because there's 7 people who died tragically in this shooting because the psychopath who shot a bunch of kids also got shot afterwards, so that makes he, she, her, it, whatever, a victim. Dave, victim points?
Bro, I'm triggered.
Or
Sorry.
is our country just like over at this point? Like, imagine like any of these other, like the Pulse nightclub shooting. If any straight white, which that kid was like gay, wasn't he? Like it was something where he
said he was a Muslim guy, but he might have been.
I think it was
Middle
like
Eastern descent, but yeah, I think he was gay.
Yeah,
Gay
where he was like closeted gay, and he was like sick of Asian people or something. I don't know. Sick of. I get them all mixed up. There's too many to count. But as you know, there's a new mass shooting every week. But in that one, it was like he was gay, closeted, and was like conflicted, and he felt like he was being tempted. This is my understanding. He felt like he was tempted by these people to sin or whatever, and so he decided to kill them. Now, if right after that, a week after that, there were people out there that were holding up, let's say, I don't know, 8 people died. I don't know how many. 8 people died in the Pulse shooting, and people came out holding up 9 fingers because this guy was also gay, which makes him a victim. And he only did it because of the Christian. I'm surprised they didn't spin it in this direction, quite frankly. If he was like conflicted because of his religion, spin it in a way that's like, it's the Christians' fault because they made this gay kid feel bad, so he had to get to it's the exact equivalent to that. How do you think people would have reacted to somebody supporting that guy shooting up a gay club?
Dude, I'm looking at the microcosm right here. What would happen? I think that this is like the inversion. This is the satanic inversion, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that that every trans person out there who identifies as trans is demonically possessed.
I don't believe they are.
but
go on.
I think
I believe in demons. And
but
you
it's
don't.
enough. Well, I'm not sure that I don't believe in demons, but I think it's enough.
I keep seeing them on the Twitters. So
it's enough for your average Bible Belt evangelical. I think when they would experience the average trans person you might see on like libs of TikTok. I'm not saying that they're all extremists or all dangerous, but there's something wrong there, right? And I think that the other side, which has been always, I mean, for years, the Christian white male, homegrown terror. This has like been the thing, right?
Yeah.
Even libertarians, right?
Right.
Like that's the whole thing. But it's the inverse, right? They're trying, I think, through the media, through the MK Ultra programming, to like get these they're mostly kids, these kids the message that their mission is so righteous that some of this shit is necessary, bro. And that's okay because you are on this good side.
Yeah.
The rainbow side where everything, but it's the opposite. It's all darkness. It's all nihilism. It's all pure evil. I'm not saying every trans person is evil. I'm saying what at the core of that movement.
Yeah.
Anybody
the conglomerate,
that takes their kid,
the horde movement, not the individual, but the horde.
Sure.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still have sympathy for anybody who's going through any kind of dysphoria like that. That's the worst thing I
certainly
imagine.
Yeah, but if I was a trans individual myself and this shooting happened, the last thing I would want to do is come out and say, well, this is because of problems with trans rights. Like, we need to come out and hold up 7 fingers and support this psychopath murderer monster who killed children. We need to support them and their struggle because we struggle. I struggle. Like, yeah, it's very egocentric. Like, because I'm going through some things, we're going to assume that this individual was going through some. Certainly, they were going through some things, but there's. I mean, in all things, there's a line. In the trans stuff, there's a line. I don't care if you're trans, but if you're like shoving it in our faces day in and day out, it's going to, at the very least, get annoying. And, if you go out and shoot up a school, I'm certainly not going to call you a victim by any stretch of the imagination. Before or during, the shooting. Like, I don't care how much you were bullied. I was bullied. I was not exactly the most manly man in high school. I was bullied a lot. And you know what I'm not going to do about it? I'm not going to cut my dick off, first off. But more importantly, not letting
and
this
don't
go. Are you kidding me? This is gold.
Come on. And don't go on any fucking rage sprees.
Oh yeah, there's that too.
You lose all sympathy after that.
The thing that should go without saying is you don't support the shooter, no matter what they look like, no matter how they identify. You don't support the fucking shooter.
Can you think of anything else
We've
this?
spent 10 years of people saying all the mass shooters are straight white males, so straight white males are bad. You know what straight white males never did during a mass shooting that was straight white male? They never came out and held up the 7th finger saying that poor straight white male was bullied and he's dead now and he's a victim. It's like all these things have always been straight white males, and that's always been the thing, and it's always about mental health and stuff. Now we're in this conundrum of trans people are doing it too, because there's some trans people there's some people who chop their genitalia off who also are mentally ill. Those things aren't related. We're not allowed to talk about that, but this person's mentally ill. I don't know. I'm rambling. What were you going to say, Dave?
There might be some overlap. No, I don't know. I'm so tired of this trans dude. After
I'm on I don't give a fuck day today. Sorry, there might just be some random rants because I don't care.
This is some of the most triggering stuff. In fact,
this country is over. We're all gonna die, guys. Like, it's just say the thing. Who cares?
Blackpilled, hashtag Blackpilled. No, my two of my state reps were out like days after this, holding trans youth rallies saying, disarm hate. It's like, when you say that, are you saying that you should disarm the trans person that just did the murders, like that just happened? Like, it's so tone deaf. I can't. And again, narcissistic, right? Like, who other than the TikTok youth LGBTQ generation would be like, you know what? Let's celebrate us right now. That's just inverted.
Not only celebrate, let's make this about our suffering. When those people are dying, those people are dead. You talk about the fucking genocide. I haven't seen it. What I have seen is this genocide, this 6-person genocide there. Like, yeah, you want to make that about you too?
Right. And I'm telling
you, I thought when this thing happened, when we found out that it was a trans shooter, that the first thing the media would do was hush up about it. They wouldn't want to talk about it. They wouldn't want people to know this person was trans and that a trans person is capable of violence. But they want the opposite. They want the direction that I didn't think was like approachable of borderline praising and sympathizing with the fucking shooter. Like, yes, the trans shooter had some problems, and I mean, everybody does when they get to the point of shooting up a school. That doesn't make them a victim. I don't know. It's just, that's the inversion again. It's the, you not only have to, yes, we can talk about this one. We're going to talk about this one more than we talked about, the black dude who ran over a bunch of grandmas at the Waukesha Christmas parade last year or the year before. Right. We don't want to talk about that one because that one doesn't really fit the agenda. This one I thought didn't fit the agenda, and then they made it fit the agenda by making the criminal, the villain, the monster into a victim, and I didn't even know that was possible.
Have they? I was going to ask you, dude. Have they? Can you think of another example of them doing this with anybody of any group, class, sex, gender, anything? Like, you know what? I know it was a murder, but
yeah,
that's so fucking crazy.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
No, I'm
just kidding.
Come on, bro.
Kidding.
Yeah,
Kidding.
That's totally diff.
I know that would be their response to that question, but
right. Yeah, good call.
Yeah. But no, realistically, no. This is kind of a turning, in my opinion. And it may have started with Kyle Rittenhouse because the way the media played Kyle Rittenhouse up as being this genocidal monster, and then the people who know the reality of that situation speaking that, like the way the media spun that, it's turned it into, well, I don't know. I just kind of wonder if there are some left-wingers or trans people or whatever that look at the Kyle Rittenhouse thing and say, well, if you guys can support Kyle Rittenhouse, we can certainly support this person because this person was, going through some shit.
Justification. Yeah. I mean, it's not an equivocation, but absolutely, I think that they could.
Not even close, unless these kids were like attacking the trans shooter, whose name I should know, Audrey Hale, I think. Mm-hmm. So let's completely change the narrative. Let's compare apples to apples here. Because they're both straight white men, obviously. Straight white man is being attacked by pedophiles and shoots them. Armed pedophiles. Other, definitely straight white man, enters a school and shoots a bunch of kids. Compare. Contrast. You see any differences here?
Say that a hero can save me. Yeah, they're both equal. Corporate wants you to tell the difference. Same thing.
It's breaking my brain this week because there's a guy on Twitter, if he listens to this, which he won't, he's been he's more of a lulbert, whatever. He's on the lefty libertarian side and he attacks me for memes I make and things. And usually I just laugh at him and don't care. This week I finally blocked him after 2 years of patiently being like, I don't really care, man. It's all good. You can make fun of me. I'll make fun of you. I don't really care. And this week, every single thing I posted about the trans stuff, he just slid in talking about how the right wing just wants to make this all about trans people. The right wing just wants to make this all about trans people. It's like, I wouldn't want to make this about trans people if you guys weren't fucking defending a mass murderer who just happens to be trans. I wouldn't even care that they were trans other than the mental issues and the discussion to be had there, but I don't care. You're the one who is defending, not necessarily this person, but man, I don't know. It's broken my brain because anytime you are defending when there's so many accusations of insurrections and genocides and this and that, and words are just thrown around without meaning, and then you actually have somebody who's killing people and you're going to defend that individual, I don't care. Fuck off.
Yeah. And that's, dude, talk about desensitized. I've been called a Nazi, racist, nationalist. I'm not even right wing. That's the true irony, right? Even libertarians. I'm not interested in that. I've never identified as right wing.
Right.
But nonetheless, that's a different story. Same groceries. You're all in this bucket. Dangerous, man.
Dangerous, I don't even care if you call me a right winger, but if you're going to say that it's wrong for me to discuss a thing that is happening, and being defended right now, I have no time for you. You add no value to my life, and I'm a patient man, but I have more important things to do than read your nonsense.
Yeah, fuck that.
Let's talk about something more lighthearted, something more fun. Let's talk about this.
Hi. Impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for us. So, I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness.
Hold on.
And I thought we
get the full video here. Why can't we
just
see the
having
full
a
video?
hectic month, but
Twitter. What the hell? I guess we can't see the full video. That's fun. We'll watch the other one first.
The estimated hold time is now less than 96 minutes.
For the audio listeners, this is a man in a sports bra in a bathtub drinking Bud Light. That is all.
We thank you for your patience.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
All right. So you get the point.
Oh.
Bud Light's new mascot is the one and only Dylan Mulvaney, and I have a lot of thoughts on this that don't matter, and I'm not allowed to share. So, Dave, I'll let you go first.
This is ESG applied to a global piss poor beer company, like just the swill, the shit. So, but this is a sign, we've talked about this, dude. They don't have to make stuff, content, movies, beer, food. They don't have to make stuff that people like anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They have to do what the World Economic Forum says you must do to continue business. If you want to continue to do business, you go by these things that we're following these rules, baby. And I imagine you can get Dylan pretty cheap. And Dylan's got millions and millions of follows. And maybe he'll sell some of that shitty ass beer. I don't know to who, though. I don't know who Dylan's demo is still. I think Dylan.
Are they just like, we need more gay, like more liberal audience or something? Like, who's drinking Bud Light in the first place? It's like NASCAR folks.
Kids? Right, yeah, maybe.
College
yeah,
kids.
exactly.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know. Like, do gay people like Dylan?
I don't know.
Is that I don't know.
Would Budweiser Inc. or whatever, would they assume that gay people like Dylan Mulvaney is the real question? Because like to me, like if I were gay, all of these pandering bullshit things would make me like, I'm not drinking that shit. Like it's so fucking pandery and shallow of just like, I look like you and I drink Bud Light. I know that's kind of always been the thing, and there's the propaganda to that. There's a part of me that honestly, watching these things, kind of respects Dylan Mulvaney because I'm starting to think he's a troll. I don't. I'm going with the Tim Pool theory a little bit.
Dude, that man has changed his whole being. His face is changing.
Has he though?
I'm not saying
not that much. You look at the Price is Right clip where he's like acting exactly the same, looks almost exactly the same, but he's wearing man clothes.
He's acting the same, and
he hasn't changed that much.
Listen, a good that would be like one of the greatest grifts I've ever seen. If he just like all of a sudden goes back, I was like, nah, not feeling it. But I'm pretty sure he's been chemically, treating himself and doing the whole thing.
We assume because we're told that, but he's also clearly a pawn in some sort to the corporate machine that is with the wokeness. But I do have the other.
He is the number one trans influencer. Yeah, for sure.
It's like I'm not even saying he because like to be disrespectful. I don't really care. I'm saying he because I'm not buying this. I'm not buying it. I feel like he's a fucking genius, quite frankly, because 365 days of girlhood and all that shit. I don't know. Like either my brain only holds two possibilities. Either he's trolling or he's like bought and like an Illuminati puppet entirely. And the white pill in me wants to believe that he's just trolling this whole thing and making bank off of it. And if that is the case, which I would prefer to believe, then he's a fucking genius.
Hi.
Yeah, that would be better.
Impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for us. So, I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness, and I thought we were all just having a hectic month, but it turns out it has something to do with sports. And I'm not sure exactly which sport, but either way, it's a cause to celebrate. This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my...
He doesn't act like a woman or a man.
Dude, he
been acts
saying
like
girlhood.
a joke. Yes, he acts like a caricature of women. It's
Girls
like he's not
specifically.
even trying to seem like a normal woman. He's trying to be like an over-the-top like caricature joke of a woman.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I feel like he's trolling. I'm starting to get there. Tim Pool brought it up first. I'm not going to take full credit for this one, but Tim Pool brought it up, and I was like, I don't know. But starting to
I'm not
watch
saying- I
like
mean,
a few of the videos, it's like, no. Like this is like performance art, in my opinion.
Well, Dylan is performing. I'm not saying I don't. Obviously, look at it's the Audrey Hepburn. That's what he's like, just running with this shtick, right? Like I don't.
Yeah.
It's definitely it's definitely performance art, but I think that, and he's definitely getting rich. So you're right, and he's definitely met with Biden, all these huge endorsements, Alta, Bud Light. I mean, it's shitty beer, but it's $1 billion company. Like this is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like the chaotic neutral in me is like the same part of me that wants Joe Exotic to be the president in 2024. Is like, yeah, sure, troll all the NASCAR loving bros with your tranny cans and put Dylan Mulvaney all over it and have him come out and say love ya 100 times. Like I don't know who this is for if it's not a troll, and if it is a troll, that's I respect it. So I'm like torn between I want to respect you for this brilliant troll.
Who's trolling it? So okay.
I don't
Well,
know.
what about Bud Light though? What about Bud Light? Because okay, let's just say Dylan is a troll, making millions, and then he's going to get out of the game and like retire as a man or whatever. That would be great. But what is Bud Light doing? They're
getting a lot of attention. They got us to talk about Bud Light on our show this week.
Yeah, but dude, no, I don't know if all publicity can be good. Like maybe I know the saying, but damn, like your whole audience, man, like they just throughout all of their corporate history. Beer and tits and tits and ass and beers and beaches with tits. Like, it's just like all of a sudden you're going to throw a dude in a tub. And I just, it's weird. It's like a weird inversion. Don't do, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Who is this for, Bud Light? You know your audience. I don't know.
Yeah.
I say the same thing about the Marvel comic universe. It's like, yo, boys and men have been reading these books for forever. And now, like, all of a sudden it's all,
I have a
chicks
thought.
are leading all the movies and stuff. It's weird.
I have a thought.
ESG.
So with this isn't like a Bud Light commercial that they put out, and this isn't a Bud Light can with Dylan Mulvaney's face on it that they distributed broadly. This is just, I'm pretty sure, like Dylan Mulvaney got some cans with his face on it. Who cares? Or her face? I don't care. This is just something that was posted to social media for social mediaites. This was posted to Dylan Mulvaney's Instagram, and then it spread like wildfire after that. And sure, there are some people who, I mean, I don't know. Just trying to think about the marketing process of this. Like, if it's only posted on Instagram, sure, some of the NASCAR folks or the Kid Rocks of the world will find this and they'll turn their fan base off to Bud Light. But then what? They're going to drink Budweiser? Okay. With this, it's almost like, how can we reach a new audience, maybe trigger some of the old audience and get some people talking about us, but most of the old audience aren't actually going to see us because most of the NASCAR bros aren't on Twitter and Instagram and all that shit. Like we can stir up this market over here completely separate from that because they're not putting Dylan Mulvaney in a Super Bowl ad or something for Budweiser.
Bro, if Playboy can put trans women in their book, then sure.
Did they?
They can. I think they did that.
I mean, I'd be surprised if they didn't by this point, but yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you don't got to make products that people like anymore. You just got to do the thing. You got to do the current thing.
Yeah. So there's that possibility that it's kind of marketing genius in my mind, but also there's the other possibility that
I love disagreeing with you, bro. It's my favorite thing.
Sure. I'm just talking.
No, I know.
But like, yeah, if they put this out as a Super Bowl ad, I'd be shocked. And I think that would probably cause more people that are already Bud Light drinkers to not drink Bud Light, or if they bought a can at the bar.
Enough?
Yes, I think I think there's two complete different worlds, and there's the online world that we kind of live in right now with the Twitters and the Instagrams and stuff like that. I think there's a large part of the Bud Light demographic that is just your corn-fed, where I live, like pretty much
see this.
I would be willing to bet that 99%, if not 100% of everyone else in my local town has not seen this, and they're still going to drink Bud Light because it's the drink of, or the beer of kings or something, the king of beers, or it's the drink of the NASCAR or whatever. They don't care about this.
Bro,
but people like us are talking about this.
I'm going out to do man on the street stuff, and I'm going to go find dudes who are drinking Bud Light at the bar. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is the matter? Bro,
you don't even bring up Dylan Mulvaney. You're just like,
no.
Why are you drinking Bud Light, you fag?
You don't know? Come on, bro. Seriously.
No, not even you don't know. Just you're drinking Bud Light. Gross. What are you, gay? Also, did you know that this happened?
It's on it. Check out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy March Madness with Bud Light and maybe win some money too. Love ya.
Tell me that's real. Tell me that as a person trying to convince you that they're a woman. Tell me it, Dave. I'm not buying it.
I think that's Dylan living his best life and playing the role of a lifetime. He wants to be an actor. We know that. He's on The Price is Right. He obviously lives near Hollywood, so he can get to those kinds of things. Loves the attention, more attention than he's ever gotten. This is the deal with the devil, right? Just make me famous, and I'll do whatever you want, including up to, butchering my body and playing this role. And it's so bizarre. That's why I don't mind calling Dylan he, because I think once you reach the influencer level like that, and you're meeting with the president to ensure that kids can do what you're doing and stuff, nah, fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess.
Sorry.
I don't know, man. Again, I'm torn between love and hate here because I don't buy any of it. Danielle in the fake super chat says, my father-in-law only drinks Bud Light. He's a Vietnam veteran and loves the Democrat Party. Danielle, please go all James O'Keefe on your father-in-law and get us the secret cam footage of you asking him if he's gay. And then
right. It's one of the two things.
Yes. Are you gay? Yeah. What are you talking about? Well, I noticed you're drinking a Bud Light. What are you talking about? Like that'll immediately set him off. And then when you show him the Dylan Mulvaney clip, I don't know. What is the message there? Gay people drink Bud Light? That's typically how messaging works. Like you put a hot chick on it and a schlubby dude, and you're like, if you're a schlubby dude and you want a hot chick, you drink Bud Light, obviously. Now we're putting a trans woman, biological man, skinny-ass dude in his bathtub selling Bud Light.
This is what I've been trying to get at. I've been figuring out, I couldn't formulate it. But Dylan, the number one trans influencer, is trying to convince you of how happy his life is now that he's trans and living as a woman. A girl. Right. But dude, no. Straight people can be happy and gay people can be happy. And you can experiment in life, and you can, LGBT, like all the LGB. Let's just say that, whatever.
Sure.
But there's some shit that
you can LGBT. Wait. LGBT.
Wait, now the T's are fucking it up for the rest of us. I think you can. There's no turning back from some shit, right? So like, that's the crazy thing that they're convincing people to do. Stuff that there's no coming back from. That's really hell. That's as popular as Dylan is. the irony is I don't think anybody, gay, straight, is going to be into Dylan because Dylan is an abomination.
Dylan is the annoying theater kid who's like, the whole thing is you're just, and I'm a theater kid. I don't care. Like, no judgment, but the life is wrapped so much up in the self and the expression of self and being the character and doing the thing that brings you the most attention. And he's doing great at it. And a part of me still respects it, but yes, the darker part of me. I'm trying to be lighthearted here today, Dave, but you're trying to pull me back into the darkness. Yes, they're trying to convince you that up. They're not only trying to convince you that up is down. They're trying to outlaw believing that up is up. A very wise man once said that. But continuing on with that demographic, we got to talk very briefly because I know even less about this than I do about Bud Light, but the CMT awards this week. Did you catch any of this, Dave? You seem like a big CMT guy.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Are you really?
No, I don't even have cable, but I know what they play. I know it's country music.
Yeah. Let's find out if it's country music. So it sounds really country. It looks very pastel, and there's a bunch of drag queens on stage just hanging out because... And this is, again, in Nashville, immediately after a shooting in Nashville by a trans person, which seems a little strange.
The common theme here between the last thing and this is that historically, Bud Light and CMT would broadcast things for, wholesome America, flannel, horses... Like I said,
even leaving wholesome out of it, just like traditional values of country.
Yeah.
Like whether you think that's wholesome or not, this is not on brand for Bud Light or the CMT at all. And that's worth taking note, whether you think it's good or bad.
That's what they should call it from now on. ESG on CMT.
Like, look at this. Look at this stage here. This is like, I don't know, Edward Scissorhands picket fence, like Stepford Wives.
Yep.
Like... I don't know, caricature mockery of womanhood bullshit with men who identify as women, biological men, trans women, actual biological women. Sorry, trying to keep it couth. On stage for some reason, and there's not really that much of a reason why. And also there was like, I didn't watch it at all. I just saw the clips and stuff. But like Lizzo was there, and like Shania Twain looking as uncountry as she possibly could, talking about, I don't know, woke shit. I don't know. Dave, I don't know. I'm tired.
Bro, did you see that Lizzo popped up in The Mandalorian? Did I spoil that for you? Holy shit.
The internet already spoiled it for me. But,
okay, good. I didn't do it. I mean, damn. What are we doing? What's going on?
I don't care. Like, I haven't watched it yet. I haven't formed an opinion on it. But frankly, like, apparently Christopher Lloyd and Jack Black and Lizzo were in the latest episode of The Mandalorian. I'm perfectly fine with that. If it makes sense and if it works within the context of the story, I don't care. I care less about that than Lizzo popping up at the CMT Awards. And I don't care about the CMT Awards at all. Like, bro, why are you here? You have nothing to do with this, like, environment. What does this have to do with country?
That's what. Equity. Get her up there with a flute. Play some fiddle or something. I don't know. She'll jam. Yeah. She's ready for it. There's no lines anymore. And you know what?
It's just all, like you said, an amorphous blob of homogenized wokeness that is overtaking everything. And it's like, until it comes for your thing, that's another reason why I'm like, yes, let Dylan Mulvaney like preach the glories of Bud Light and let Lizzo go up on stage at the CMT. Do you really think this is going to, like, who are you marketing to? How is this helping your demographic? Is it honestly going to make more woke people listen to country music, or is it going to make more country people not like country music? It's like the Hank Hill thing where he's talking about the Christian rock music. He's like, you're not making rock and roll better, you're making Christianity worse.
Love it. Yeah, man, country music's been slipping for a long time. That's what happens when you let pop music and hip hop influence country music. Like, it just isn't there anymore. It's just everything is all the same. All the same producers make all the same shit. So I'm not surprised that they did this. I put out a poll on Twitter and I said, who did Who did a better victory dance? The trannies on CMT or the Israelis on 9/11?
Who won?
It was like 65-35 Israelis. So
I figured it'd be the Israelis because that's the more spicy take for people to click on.
Yeah, exactly. It's Twitter.
Seth Sparky in the fake super chat says Bud Light can have the trans market. Montucky cold snack will always be the gayest beer. I don't know what that is. Montucky
cold snack.
Sounds gay.
Yeah, it sounds pretty gay. You're right. It is.
Yeah, I don't know. Anybody else? Fake super chats, drop them, and we'll talk about them. But we do have to talk about... I want to say the gayest thing of all, but it's not. It's just Joe Exotic, and he's probably more based than 90% of this woke shit.
Right.
So it is
just
what
regular
it is.
gay.
Yeah. Just as you could probably tell from my demeanor for the last hour and 38 minutes for this short episode, I've been kind of like I don't give a shit about anything lately, and then I started fighting with Joe Exotic on the internet, and it got me all jazzed up again because I'm down. And it started with me basically saying I want Joe Exotic to be president. I started saying unless somebody else steps up who is better or who compels me more than Joe Exotic, I want Joe Exotic to be president.
Let it be known for the record that just a few weeks ago, Dan interviewed Mike Tremont running for president. He interviewed Jacob Hornberger.
Why you got to do that,
running for
Dave?
president, and he interviewed Chase Oliver running for president. You should check out that video because it's a really great one.
Look,
probably.
Here's the thing.
Dan's right, and I'm not voting for. Look, I'll go. I don't know. No, there's nothing out there right now for me personally, but I definitely not Joe Exotic. But I understand.
First and foremost, Joe Exotic. Hold on, let me switch. Wait for it. Joe Exotic, you are a coward for not coming on the System is Down podcast because I am literally the only person who will interview you and give you the time of day to actually plead your case without making a mockery of you. I will make jokes, certainly, but I don't have the biggest audience, certainly, but I did do the campaign ads for Vermin Supreme, Joe Jorgensen, Spike Cohen, Jeremy Kaufman, Angela McArdle, your arch nemesis. I did campaign ad for Angela McArdle, and I'm down to talk to you, Joe. Come on the show. Don't be a fucking coward. That's all. I know you're in jail. I know you got a lot going on. I know you got bigger fish to fry than this little podcast, but I'm just saying you are a coward if you don't come on this show. That is all. Any thoughts, Dave?
Yes. Joe Exotic should put some respect on your name, 1. 2, I would graciously bow out as co-host for that show and let Brian McWilliams, who seemed very interested in that, participate. As I go out and explore,
I'm sure there are a lot of people who would be very interested in co-hosting that, Dave. You're still my number 2.
I listen, for you, bro, I would do it. I was just I don't like his approach, and I don't like the way that he's treated our chair, who I think deserves some respect as well.
I agree.
Right.
I don't like how I don't like how he's treated me, and I'm still like
6 people hit me up a day to be on their podcast. Yeah, well, I'm one of them, motherfucker. 6 people?
Sorry for being the 7 victims here, Joe Exotic. Jeez.
You know, come on this show, bro. I would if if you're running for president for the Libertarian ticket.
I held a presidential candidate debate with 12 candidates last go around. I had pretty much all of them on leading up to that. And as Dave mentioned, I have recently interviewed the 3 other people who, to my knowledge, are the only people who have announced that they are running for president for the Libertarian ticket. Here's my thing. I don't take Joe Exotic seriously, and I'm fine with that. I'm not saying that I want to have Joe Exotic be the Libertarian nominee for president for 2024. However, I am also the guy who started working with the LP on the Vermin Supreme campaign. Anybody who's like, I don't even necessarily know if Joe Exotic fits this bill, but anybody who's like, fuck the machine, fuck it all, troll it all, let's make the biggest troll campaign ever. I would be down with that if that is your message. Like, if you're going to make a joke out of it, if you're going to be a joke candidate, which I consider Joe Exotic to be a joke candidate, mostly because he won't come on my podcast. But if you're going to be a joke candidate, I can get behind that and I can support it, even if I disagree with you on some things. I would, if Vermin Supreme had a good chance of being the nominee the next go around, I might be hard pressed to not make videos for him or to work with him, even if I disagreed with him on some things, because we are in the death throes of our fucking country right now, and the best I have to offer is going down swinging with a giant middle finger to the entire establishment. And if Joe Exotic is that, I will do it. Joe Exotic 2024, if nobody better comes, and no disrespect to Jacob Hornberger, Chase Oliver, or Mike Tremont, but you guys haven't swayed me in convincing me that you have a better message for the Libertarian Party to put forward than a guy who has no message but can just throw a giant middle finger to the establishment. Wow. Dave, thoughts?
Oh, scathing, bro. To the presidential candidates that are out there, by the way. And
I'm not meaning for it to be. I will work with you too.
It was
impress
necessary.
me.
Absolutely necessary. And where I'm with you is I can understand, because
to be clear, I will work with every single one of you. If anybody wants to work with me and wants to put a solid message forward, I will work with you and we will do that. And whoever has the nomination, so be it. If Joe Exotic has the difference between these other candidates and Joe Exotic is Joe Exotic probably has a message that I disagree with, but it would be like hinging on whether or not he's willing to run it realistically, run it as this is a joke and this is just to, I don't think that he is. I think that he legitimately thinks that he's going to run and become president or become a nomination or something like that. Yeah, I wouldn't be that into that. I don't really care about that. But if he wanted to run like, hey, like this whole system is fucked up and let's say that from a national standpoint, I would be down with that.
You and I are a lot alike, bro. But you do have more of a Loki spirit than I do. I think when it comes to the maybe the party politics stuff. So I think where you're more willing, I mean, you were certainly with Vermin. I was more like tolerating him when he was in the party. You know, in the beginning, I would throw him on some memes, you know, like nothing hateful or anything. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, he not only was a joke candidate, but he was not a libertarian, and he did not know the philosophy.
I feel the same way about Joe Exotic. Yes.
So right, yeah.
I'm not looking to them to be a messenger of the libertarian message.
Yeah, right.
At this point, I'm like death throws. Let's throw up some middle fingers on the way out. Like desperation.
I'm
have some
not
fun.
that black pilled yet. I'm not that black pilled. I'm excited about the first libertarian candidate in 20 years that people could get really excited about. And I'm not saying that will happen, but I'm saying that
if Dave Smith wants to step up, I'll certainly support him
great,
more than Joe Exotic.
Just go ahead and get out there and fucking.
That would be my first choice
of
all of them. Yes, that'd be great. Yes.
That would be the best of all scenarios, probably. But you know, after Ron Paul, I learned that Superman ain't coming. So no matter what, you got to do it. All I'm saying is, I did not just work for 5 years with all these people to help take over this party so fucking the Mike Vermont revolution can come in, or the Joe Exotic fucking, no one needs an AR-15 revolution. You can no, somebody else. So far, I'd be on Chase Oliver's team. Probably is the best one. And that hurts me to say because he probably has me blocked on Twitter. But like he's the least embarrassing, I guess. Yeah. And that sucks because I probably disagree with him. I just like, but not that I would like.
I mean, Chase Oliver's got Joe Exotic's cowboy hat and Daisy Duke shorts. So,
right. They're probably going to team up and just ruin my whole year. That's
as far as like messaging. Yes, I would certainly. I would be happier with a Chase Oliver ticket than a Joe Exotic ticket. But I don't know, something about maybe like the Donald Trump getting locked up thing and other people not announcing their candidacy thing or something. I don't know. Like I don't mean any disrespect to these other guys because they certainly have better messaging than Joe Exotic does. And even looking at his Twitter feed today, like he put up a fucking poll. Let me find it here. put up a poll earlier today that was like, which party should I run for? I think the Libertarians are a fucking joke. I think the Democrats have some learning to do. I think the Republicans are monsters. Basically, it's like, so run on the Democrat ticket, you fucking loser.
Well, dude, listen, that's what obviously this guy is only here for the ballot access. That's
absolutely
it. He's coming in to fucking run roughshod like most of these D-list fucking. I'm sorry, you might want to get him on the show. Sorry,
no, I just called him a fucking loser. It's fine.
Yeah,
he's not coming on the show. That's the thing.
Right,
he
he's
big timed me right out the gate. As soon as I said coward, he was like, "You want to call me a coward?" I get 6 emails a day for people coming on their show. It's like, okay, dude, call me the 7th and come on my show. That's all I was asking. I was very friendly out the gate, but as soon as I'm like, this dude he's not going to hire me. He's not going to come on the show. If he wants to, great. I'm very open-minded, very down to have a chat, but it seems like he's big time, wants the celebrity status, wants to basically all the things that we all knew were true and you stated from the get-go. This guy just wants to use our party for his own agenda. I do agree with that 100%. And also, if he wanted to run a chaos campaign, I might do it. That's all I'm saying. And so far, I'm Joe Exotic 2024 just because I don't care at the moment. I might change my mind next week, but right now I'm saying this dude's a coward and I want him to be president in 2024.
Yo, the tragic part about this is that no one, if it's Mike Termott, if it's Chase Oliver, if it's Jacob Hornberger, you are essentially slot number 3, sir. Okay? No one knows who the fuck you are. Nobody's going
to win, no matter who it is. Nobody's going to win. What can you bring outside of winning? Because you're not going to win.
Right. So you all know infinitely more. Jacob Hornberger's a fucking libertarian genius. He's got, maybe we don't agree on everything. I think he's a total open borders guy. Whatever. There's probably some shit there. Whatever. Yeah. He wouldn't embarrass you like if he were to get on a debate stage or something. But this is the Mike Termott fallacy, which is, like once I get $10 million to get on TV ads, and then they see me.
We might have to do an after party today because I've got some thoughts on that.
You can't. This is the lie that libertarians must not. As long as I'm participating in this party and I'm making podcasts and we're going to hold people's feet to the fire, my number one question is, can you win? And if they tell me, well, yeah, don't you, or like dance around that,
right.
These days are over, motherfucker.
Well, it's funny because you asked that question, can you win? And they assume that you want their response to be, yes, I can, and here's how. Really, what we want is for you to say, no, I cannot fucking win. Here's what I can offer to this position. That's all that matters right now.
If Joe Exotic said, the deal I'll offer the Libertarian Party right now is I'll be the first guy to get you to 8%. I would be like, I think that motherfucker could probably do that. That would be
He would do better than Joe Jorgensen, let's be honest.
Yes,
he would do better in the polls.
Yes.
So would Kanye West if he ran again.
Of course. Kanye would get 20% of the country.
I don't know about that, but it'd be more than 1.5% or whatever we got last year.
The richest black American who ever lived. You know what I mean? I don't know. He would crush it. And you know what? To be fair, I'd still
define black because Elon Musk is South African. Just saying.
Yes, not African American, not richest African American, richest black motherfucker.
Joe Exotic posted this April 3rd, which I guess is 2 days ago. I just saw it this morning. Which party could I make the most impact with to get America to meet in the middle and just get along? Libertarians are childish. So I love when people like Vermin Supreme and Joe Exotic call other libertarians or libertarians call us like childish or like juvenile or something. It's like, yes, but also what's your shtick? Democrats are not bad, but could use some work, you think. Republicans want to rule your lives. So, brother, you are a Democrat. Run as a Democrat.
Yes. They need some work, but that's what you are. They need some work. Look, you're obviously.
I think Joe Exotic's better than most Democrats. I think he's worse than most libertarians, but better than most Democrats. Go over there and do your thing to their party.
Yeah,
you fucking coward.
I'm pretty sure he ran, dude. He is like Vermin. He ran in 2016. I think he ran in 2020. This guy's like in jail, right? Running for president. It's all very stupid. But you're right. so far, it's the best shot that the libertarians have at getting some recognition in
is
2024.
Not good. Not good. I'm not saying this with joy, despite my giggly demeanor, because I can't stop laughing at. It's funny because, like, I don't know, all the Jack Casey stuff set aside, whatever. He's cool, but he knows that I'm similar in the chaotic onlineness. And last night we were just chatting, and he was like, "Did not have." I think it was him who said, "Did not have Dan arguing with the Tiger King on Twitter in my bingo cards for 2023." And I'm like, I needed the chaotic neutral today, this week, this month. Like, so many things. Like, I don't really care. Like, this guy's not going to be the libertarian nomination, I don't think. Again, I'm open-minded. If he wants to talk, I will tell him how to be the libertarian. I'm not opposed to anybody. Anybody at all. If you like Jo Jorgensen, I've mentioned this on the show before. Jo Jorgensen, don't agree with her on some things. I don't think she's the best candidate, but she kind of let me do what I wanted with the messaging and the videos. If Joe Exotic wanted to do that, and it could be real eccentric, real crazy, I would do it. If he let me do my messaging or consult me or whatever, if I agreed with the messaging, I'd be down for it. I don't care. You can big time me all day long. I don't care. I just want the person to make the biggest splash middle finger, even if whether it brings unity or brings chaos. I don't really care at this point. Like, just who can make the most impact? Because this whole thing, the Republicans suck, as we mentioned earlier. Donald Trump's allegedly going to jail. The Democrats suck. Nobody is locking any guilty people up for anything. It doesn't matter. Like, the whole system is shit, and I'm down for the chaos. If Joe Exotic wants to cause the chaos, I'm here for it. But again, I'm not holding out hope. I think that he's mostly just looking for attention, and he doesn't like that I poked him a little too hard on Twitter immediately. I did slide into his DMs and was like, hey, man, this is all in, like, good fun. Because he actually, I take that back. He slid into my DMs and said, hey, buddy, if you want to... I contacted him first and said, I'm this guy. I do these things with the Libertarian Party. I have this show. I've had these people on. I would love to have you on, have an open-minded conversation. Like, very just respectful and reasonable. That's how this all started. And then he didn't respond to that. And I said, Joe Exotic 2024. And then I started poking a little bit. And then he was like, hey, man, you want to call me a coward? I'll never come on your show. I get 6 emails a day. It's like, well, okay. I don't know how much time you got. But I did not see my life being ever in a position where I am calling the Tiger King a coward on Twitter in hopes that he comes on my show and all that. But this is all a simulation, and the Libertarian Party needs to step it up. I would say all the candidates need to step it up a bit. Like, give me something better than chaos. Give me something that is more compelling to a general demographic than chaos. Otherwise, I wouldn't vote for him.
I don't want chaos, but I will click that fucking
I'll
button.
do chaos. I will push the button.
Give me something. We will push that button.
Do you do you hate the state scenario? Like, if you could push the button that ends the state right now, what is the best way there? Maybe it's the collapsitarian in me that's like, yes, let's go with the Joe Exotics or what have you, because if you're coming out saying, here's how I'll fix everything, you're wrong. You're just delusional. And that's fine, because maybe I'm not the best, like, motivational speaker or rally the troops guy to get people, amped about the Libertarian Party or whatever. But if you think that there's a Libertarian president that's going to happen in 2024, no matter what their name is, you are incorrect. If they're telling you that they're going to be that, they're also wrong. And I know Joe is doing that too. But he's got the different thing that all his petty, bitchy, gay bullshit aside, like, I could be swayed. I'm not saying I'm there, but I could be swayed. Joe Exotic 2024.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we need to be honest with ourselves. It's a shame that to run at the top, like the national level, you need to have some kind of fame. Some kind of, like, people need to know who you are. Some kind of brand recognition.
Yeah. Donald Trump didn't get elected because he's like this known Republican that everybody is always respected. Like, he was just a brash asshole doing a thing.
Right. So without that, I mean, and I hate to say this because, like, Jacob Hornberger he could run for, like, governor or something. I mean, that's a high ambition right there. But, like, Mike Tremont would be, he'd make a great mayor, and he'd win wherever he lives. You know what I mean?
Governor.
But
Go
yeah,
Gary Johnson route.
he could maybe have a shot at that. Like he's that good at that. But for the national ticket, you're just gonna get lost. We need somebody with, I hate to say it, like, somebody like a Dave Smith who can like really connect with the message and who has the different reach into different communities and a lot of respect and a lot of hits on YouTube and all the things.
Yeah.
So still looking, not going to settle, but I'm definitely
I'm
going to
certainly
talk
not
all
settled.
the shit on. I'm going to talk all the shit on the people who tell me that they want to be president. Like,
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm not settling. I'm just saying, y'all, let's do something. Let's do something. We've got. I don't want to be this is the most important election of our lifetime, guy or anything, but like, it's not. It's not any more important other than we're closer to collapse now than we were 4 years ago. Like that's all I say. Like, I don't even necessarily think this election could help. I'm like, we are on a downslide, and best I can do is say, yeah, fuck this. The system is down. That's where the show started. Like with the Donald Trump thing and the Hillary Clinton thing, that's where the hashtag the system is down thing started. Was just like, this is fucking bullshit. All this is bullshit. I was a Republican. I was like, Donald Trump got me paying attention. I was like, this is dumb. And then I started paying attention to the Libertarian Party. And the system is down didn't come out of necessarily the system is down, let's take over it. It was like it's kind of black-pilled name. It's like, hey, this is kind of fucked. Now, how are we going to enjoy it? Or given the choice, if we can assume that this thing is collapsing and there's basically nothing we can do about it, if that is the case, I'm not necessarily convinced that is the case, but if it is, what's better, to just sit around doing our normal 9-to-5 job and fade into existence as a country or as a species, or to just go out just ridiculing the whole thing? That's my role, I suppose, is just ridiculing the whole thing. If I can slip in some good messaging at the same time, great. But if I can be the Loki, as you put it, I'm down with that too.
Man, a lot there, and I get the certain amount of black-pilledness right now, and it's a great name for a podcast. And
black-pilledness.
Yeah, No. The system is down. I like the origin story there. And yeah, I tend to agree, man. I just don't have an immediate answer. Just the LP. I did shit on them for a good bit there. Let me just say that I think if you want a little bit of a white pill, it is still beautiful to see you poking into the universe. Like you said, dude, you wouldn't have predicted that a couple years ago, going back and forth with the Tiger King. But even more importantly, like the chair of our party, who we put there.
Yeah.
We did that, right? That was our project. Yeah. She is now in the Twitter sphere defending our brand and our name.
And I appreciate that.
I do too. That's what I'm saying. So
I am not anti anything, not anti LP, anti Angela.
Yeah,
Angela,
no, I know you're not. I know
I'm more pro Angela than I am Joe Exotic, but Angela's not running for president right now.
True, but our brand is still. We got time for that shit.
But what does a brand matter if the whole thing falls apart at this point?
Dude, that's the thing. I think their thing is to make us think it's always gonna fall apart, like always on the brink, so that you're always in a state of anxiety, always in a state of something is on the, and it always is getting worse. I'm just saying that I don't know, until you see AI has definitely taken over and the bots are in the sky and you can't leave your house. Like, we'll be okay, dude. There will still be parties. We can still dance. Music is still coming out. Podcasts are still cranking more and more. Like they keep having to up the propaganda because something's working. You know what I mean? The system is down, but maybe it won't be down forever, man.
I appreciate you, Dave. I appreciate your lightening my black pills because, it's good. That's why you're here. Yes, I don't want to I don't know. I don't want to give off the wrong. I always try to be hopeful and try to find the way around this. But also on the podcast, I'm trying to be a little bit more honest. And if nothing else, for the sake of our party, like trying a little fucking harder to present something better than Joe Exotic. Like, I don't know. Maybe we should save some of this for the bonus chats, because I could rant for a while about this and some of the history over the last few years of people leaving the party, and good people leaving the party or leaving the movement or going post-libertarian or whatnot. Maybe are you down for a after party? You got time, Dave?
Yes, I do. Got about 40 minutes.
Okay. I didn't plan on doing an after party, but I feel like we should do it there. We're over 2 hours now. Final words. My final word, personally, before Dave's final word, is Joe Exotic. You are a fucking coward for not coming on the System Is Down podcast and talking to me. I will be very nice, and I have endorsed you more than probably anybody in the Libertarian Party thus far. So if you want a fair shake, come on, let's do it, and let's have a good chaotic time, and we can call that Carol Baskin a bitch or whatever you do. But Dave, give any final thoughts that you have on. We've talked about so many things today. Anything. The Donald Trump thing, the meat carrots, the Joe Exoticness. Any final thoughts, and tell people where they can find you, man.
Joe Exotic. Don't step on toes that could end up on a foot up your ass the next day. I think Wesley Snipes said that. That's what I would recommend to you.
That's the position I try to put myself in at all times.
All times. You know what I mean? That ladder that you're crawling up, the fame ladder, Netflix is great, all the money in the world. Yeah, you're going to have to come back down that thing, and you might cross some of the
There's even a lesson to be learned in the Dave Smith is a coward campaign, or the Joe Jorgensen's campaign firing me and then rehiring me campaign on, hey, don't insult somebody or don't become the enemy to somebody who could be very beneficial to you. Anyway, continue on.
And don't underestimate this motherfucker who, can make you look real good or real bad. And sometimes
I don't think he needs help looking bad, but yeah.
Yeah. Trump, I love the show, man. WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump, Pizza Hut stuffed crust salesman Donald Trump, Visa card hustling, art of the deal, fucking warp speed motherfucker. I love the show, bro. And so far, no, I'm not going to say that. You probably wouldn't get my vote, but I'd be tempted for the chaos button.
Joe Exotic versus Donald Trump. If they were the two people, Joe Exotic is the Democratic ticket that he would love, and Donald Trump's the Republican ticket. Who would you vote for?
Oh, he's on the Democratic ticket? I'm definitely voting for Trump. But I heard Robert F. Kennedy Jr. might run for the Democrat ticket, which would cause me to register as a Democrat. I would do that.
Shit.
You got
after party thickens.
Right, warp speed versus anti-warp speed. This is going to be great. I would sign up for that and leave the Libertarian Party for Joe Exotic. Peace. You guys enjoy yourselves. Follow me on Twitter. Got the old account back at Dave versus Goliath 1. I'm on YouTube. Go subscribe there. That would be great. The last episode was really fun with Lauren Witzke, who, by the way, I'm telling you, this is that audience that is not tolerating. She thinks there's a war on white people, a war on, it's coming, and the trannies are coming in to wage war on it. So there are people out there who, like I said, man, the rational people who are trying to keep the peace, we're getting drowned out a little bit by people on both sides. So, but she was fun. So go check out that episode, and I appreciate the follow there.
Absolutely. Fake super chat wrap up. Fake super chat from JC. Did you notice any federal agents during your time around Vermin Supreme? No. I have certainly disagreements with them, and there are certain people who have burned me from that campaign, and I'm go with the flow. No federal agents, people that I don't trust necessarily, but no, don't think so. And to end on a bright note, because I've been very downery today, I do have to share this before we get going. This is this is something that should speak to everybody from all political walks of life. This is just a cop just dangling from a fence, shitting his pants as his trousers fall down.
Oh shit! I'll put this up on YouTube. Wait, look, there's this fucking radio. There's this radio.
Oh.
Oh, fucking idiot! These radios.
I hope you're proud of yourself.
You're like going a bit red, mate. Don't help him, don't help him, don't help him. No, don't, he's a police officer, don't help him. No, don't.
Oh dear. I think we should, yeah? Very funny.
Well, come on, he's the police officer.
All right, good note to end on. Dave, thanks for being here. All of you, thanks for being here. Yeah, just stay lighthearted, and if you got some lightheartedness, if you got some white-pilledness, send it my way, because I don't mean to be dark, but sometimes I be that way. And speaking of which, we're going to probably get more black-pilled over in the after party that I did not plan on doing, but we're going to do because Dave has time and I have will. So if you like this and you want to hear more of this, if you want to hear it get even darker, go on over to patreon.com/thesystemsdown and sign up for the Downers Club right now while we keep this party going. And I'll have to put up a Patreon link here in a minute. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. Joe, I don't know what to tell you, man. Just come on the show. Or you're a coward. Question everything. Stay uncomfortable. See you guys next time. Bye.
Welcome to the system. Everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Parents of the system. Violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out and help us change the world one uncomfortable conversation at a time. And if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/thesystemsdown for bonus episodes of the show every single week. Until next time, please continue to question everything, stay uncomfortable, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks.
This has been a Goulash Media production. GoulashMedia.net.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.